This is Megatron, leader of the Predacons, and you're watching Kal-El Reviews. Yes.
Hey guys, welcome to Kal-El Reviews. This is Chris, and today we've got a video review of the FansProject WB003 Warbot Assaulter. So very awesome package as usual. The same packages all the way through this line, and Assaulter only just fits in this one, which we'll see in a moment. But very cool pack. As you can see around here, we've got a little bit of an open section. Warbot Assaulter. Lovely artwork down there showing the white face. On the back we've got WB003 again, Warbot, and some kanji or katakana or something. Assaulter cruiser mode, which looks very much like a ship from Macross story time. Graces. Jet mode, robot mode. And it's got an ultimate robot mode, which is displaying, and I'll speak about this in a bit more, displaying an alternate not CG model, animation model, robot mode height 20 centimeters, showing which parts are which. So we've got a fair bit of die cast in. This guy is quite heavy. On this side we've got the three main modes, just pictures there, and let's get the guy open and just look at how badass this figure is. Now, before I do that, I'll just mention that these guys do come in this slipcase, like so, just this little thing, and which I quite like that. It looks very professional. I don't mind it at all. So there's Warbot. Let's open this pack up, we'll show you what's inside, and then we'll look at the main robot. Okay, we've got Assaulter out of his box. Kept him in the clamshell there just to show you how he is collapsed in there. We've got our little comic book / instructions, which I won't spoil too much, but you can see the comic is in there. Blah, da, da. At the back, nice picture of the two different forms of Assaulter, which I think looks really cool, and obviously instructions are in here. Now what I'm talking about is when he's in the box, it says take out of packaging, obviously. Now he's actually collapsed because size of this guy, he's actually quite large, so you've got to extend his legs out, turn this thingy-majigger around and put the guns on the back. So we'll show you that in a moment, but just to let you know, he only just fits in this package. Now, we were talking about this guy in a podcast I do, TF Beyond, I co-host with a few guys. The boxes are the same throughout this line. Now, Assaulter's been in development for quite a while, so what I said was maybe the box was designed around him in this particular collapsed form, and the rest just happened to fit in afterwards. So that's just a thought of mine. But anyway, other thing it comes with are the guns, the little axie gun things. And one more thing that was a bonus with this is this little sprue of things. And what you've got is a little, looks almost like Sandstorm, a couple of bikes, Defenders, Chopper mode, Defender's car mode, Steel Core, and a trailer for Steel Core, which are very cool. We'll have a look at these in a bit more detail shortly, out of the plastic obviously. And there you've got Assaulter. So I'll pop him out of that plastic and we'll look at how to actually open him up. Okay, we've got Assaulter out of his pack here. Now first thing you're going to do is get the legs, and you're going to extend them out, and they're going to click like so. So I'll just move these arms So you're going to get the leg and extend that out, and it's going to click like that. Then we get the feet, and we unfold the feet like so. They're just on little ball joints in there. Unfold the feet, and already he is gaining some height. So just move him back a little bit. Now, also, it doesn't hurt to turn these little fists. Don't know why I'm mumbling, but anyway. So got him like that. Now on the back here, this section here, which is like a little cockpit type deal, you're going to rotate this whole section down and then that section up like that. So just a little butt cover thing. Now grab your guns from before, and they're actually going to peg into this section here. Just like that. And so on here you've got this little peg here, and that is going to peg onto that little, if I can stop fumbling them, maybe, and that will just peg in there like that. Then you've got a Salter in his lovely robot mode. Okay guys, we've got a Salter out of his box, obviously, and we showed you how to extend the limbs and get him into the correct robot mode to start off with. So this is a Salter in one of his animation models. I had this model and the other one, which we'll show you shortly, and this is just a representation of these animation models, which was originally Broadside, the triple changer from the G1 Transformer series. Now, first thing I'm going to show you before we do any transformations is just a really quick look at the articulation on this guy. He's pretty big and heavy, so first of all, we'll just turn him around and pop these guns off the back here, and we'll just sort of get him back here. Now, one thing you will notice as we sort of progress is the ankles are a ball joint. They are quite strong, but this guy's heavy, so he can rock forward and back, but just something to be aware of. So articulation wise, we'll start from the bottom. We've got feet on the ball joint, so they are quite movable. We've got a thigh swivel, and we've got a nice solid knee there. Come up here, we've got hip will ratchet in and out, and it will ratchet backwards and forwards, and they are very, very strong ratchets. So just to be aware, they're not going to break as far as I know, but they will. You've got a waist swivel, which is very cool. He will tilt back on that waist due to transformation. Shoulder, we've got the rotation there. We've got in and out there. We'll go up and down there due to transformation. We've got the bicep swivel, elbow, and the wrist is on a ball joint. So that's the arms. Head is on a ball joint. We'll move around quite a motif. So that is your articulation. Now, as for your details in this mode, we'll just zoom in and give you a better look at that. So here's your detail. We've got the head, nice little head sculpt there with the blue visor, lovely blue chest. We've got plenty of this sort of metal-y, like panel type detail around on the side. Same thing. You can see on the arm there, plenty of detail up on here, around on the back. Same thing, sort of carrier detail there, bit hollow on the back due to the transformation itself. If we come up to the legs, it's on the legs again, plenty of this sort of moulded detail, heaps on the side, and the back, you'll see in a minute what that's for, but that's the detail throughout. Now from here, the ultimate robot mode is pretty easy to do. First thing we're going to do is rotate these legs around, and the instructions show to fold out these outer panels just on the feet. Just gives him that stepped out sort of foot section. And we get the head and just rotate the head up, and you can see there, just zooming in for you guys, and probably focus would help. There you got a nice head sculpt there. Zoom back out so you can see what we're doing. And this section here will rotate around. Now mine's a little stuck, so I'm just going to do a little bit of a camera magic and we'll see that turn around. Okay, so there's your other animation model completed. So we've got the white details instead of the blue and the orange, which I personally like better. Got the white nose coney section here instead of the blue. I actually prefer the blue myself. And a pretty cool head sculpt there, just that nice red, blue eyes and little white teeth. A very cool head sculpt. Now for me personally, I actually prefer to have these folded up, this section as the blue and this section down. So I actually like the normal mode with the white legs. To me that looks a lot cooler. It's not an official mode, but to me I like that a lot more. I just think this blue, the white looks better than that. There's a comparison just to give you a look there. Now before we move on to any transformations, let's have a look at a bit of a size comparison. So we'll keep the solder, we'll put him back in his normal mode just for the sake of the review. So we'll just sit him about there, and again, little camera magic, and we'll see someone appear. Okay, there we have a soldier with FansProject's WB003 steel core. So you can see steel core is quite a bit smaller, and as we talked about earlier with the boxes, steel core quite easily fit in. You had to fold down a soldier to get him in that box. And just to show you another one of these warbots, there is Defender or Springer. So there's a bit of a size comparison with the three. Three in line there, we'll just move that across. Move you across, and there you go, there's the sizes all lined up. Okay, and we'll do one more, just something mainstream in case you don't have any of the FansProject. There he is with full of Cybertron blast off. So you got the solder blast off. He's a big figure. So very big figure. I definitely call him an ultra, but maybe not leader. But there you go, there's a size comparison, and let's move on to alrighty guys, transformation for this guy can be a little bit fiddly, but not too bad. First of all, we're going to start off, we're going to fold these feet up and into there. Now with the arms, just come here, we're going to rotate these hands with the palm out, fold them into the body, and again palm up like that, fold them into the body. Then we're going to take this whole section up, just sit those arms out there like that, section up like that, and they will just sit there for the time being. We'll just flip it over this way. So you should have these sections here sitting flat on this section there. Okay, like that. Then we're going to take the arms, I'm going to extend them out, and you're going to turn them in, and they're going to sit into the body like that, and in there, and just pushes into the body like that. Okay, so from that side, they just sit there like so, and you'll have that head poking out there, and these will all sit in flush like that. Okay, so there we are. Now please excuse any off-camera stuff here at the moment on this review. I'm doing it with a new camera, so it's just a completely different setup to what I was doing before, so please excuse the unprofessionalism. Now what we're going to do now is fold the legs up like they were when they came out of the box. So you're just going to wiggle them up until they click, wiggle them up till they click like that. Then we're going to flip it right around, we're going to rotate this section around, and then fold the white section up and over like that. So it's actually going to sit on that nose cone section like so. so you can see we're starting to come along here. Now from there we're going to get these arm pieces, we're going to fold them out, and underneath fold that out, and then fold over. And what's going to happen here, first we'll fold the now try not to mumble here. The instructions say to do this section before this section. Don't, because otherwise you won't be able to fold these wings out. So just do that first, fold all of these fins out like so. Now this section here is a little tab there, little peg, little tab and a hole. You're going to peg that in. Now first couple of times you do it, it's going to be very, very tight. The tolerances on these guys are super duper tight. Even now mine still likes to pop out a little bit. It will take a bit of effort, and then you just close the one underneath. So same on the other side, we're going to untab that, or not untab it, just fold it out, fold that over, and that is going to tab into that leg like that. So what I find it helps is to put your finger on the red bit underneath and push that in, and then fold that bit in second like there. Okay, so that's the back of it, that's the front of it. Then we get our guns from before. Make sure these little handles here are folded in, and the gun is actually got a little sort of hole there, and that red peg there, and that's going to slot on, and they just sit on there like that. And then same here, fold the little handle underneath, and that pegs onto there like that. And there you have your Space Cruiser mode. Okie dokes. So it's not like extremely awesome mode. It's probably the weakest mode out of the lot. But there you have the Space Cruiser mode, and we'll just have a look at a size comparison in this mode. So they've got the Space Cruiser mode with a Vehicle, and it's set the Vehicle on top, and you can see it is pretty damn long. So the Vehicle takes about 1 second to drive past. Can shoot off the flight deck if you want, but that's the Space Cruiser mode, and that's a Vehicle, just to give you an idea of the length and scale of it. And I'll just flip him up onto the side. Backdrop's falling apart. Now this is falling apart, and just to give you a side comparison, there you go. Alrighty, so let's move on to the transformation into jet mode, which in my opinion is the better mode out of the lot. Alrighty, let's turn this sucker into a jet, and before we do, any Macross fans out there, Macross story time, this looks very similar to the SDF-1. If you're interested in that, great. If you're not, let's move on. First thing we're going to do is fold these sections up, so you just untab, fold up like that, done. Just turn this section around, they can just sit there like that for now. Pull your little swordy thingy-majiggers off. Now, I'm going to come around here, fold this one away, and this one away. You can keep those ones out, no big deal. Just fold those out on the angle, like so, and we're going to rotate them out like that. So you've got this crazy little thing going on here. Now we're going to come up to the front here, and these sections here are going to tab together. So just lift the arms out, and you're going to tab these sections together, and they'll just, so you got that there, and a bit of pressure, and they'll click together like so. And then these sections here will slide up into the body on both sides, slide up into the body like that. Get our arms, tab them back in, rotate them around, and they'll just sit up there like that. Okay, so they just sit there. Now this section here, we're going to fold out the nose section, rotate that around. I'm going to fold the whole section out and rotate this around like that. Okay, now we're going to fold, just click them in like that. This section here is going to fold up, and the legs will fold in like this, and they're going to go in there, like that. Now what's going to happen here is this red section, that red section there is going to all line up together, and that, oh, you got to fold that foot out, sorry. So the foot needs to stick out there like that. And then all that is going to sit there like so. And you're going to plug the foot into the back of the arm there. So there's, we'll just fold that out of the way for now. There's actually a little tab there, a little peg hole there, and they are going to peg it in together like so. Okay, there we are. Just zoom back out. There. And then you can just fold that wing out like that. So same thing on this side. You're going to fold all this in, make sure that back foot is out, fold all that in, and that section there is going to line up. Make sure it takes a bit of wiggling to get this in the right, there we are, in the right spot. So that white section there needs to be inner, not on that. It shouldn't be in line with this bit here, it needs to sit in like that. And then you just tab that foot section into the arm there. So again, just a little bit of wiggling, and it should slot in there, just like so, like that. Come around to the front here, this section here is going to slot up like that, and that will tab in there. So I've got all that. Grab these, fold them out as little spoiler sections. You can sit them forward like that if you want, but they don't go there. Just like that. Come underneath. That little section is going to sit there like that. Grab your swords from before, or axes and guns, and they peg in underneath. There's a little tab there, little peg hole there. That's going to slot in there like that. And then you have a Salter in his jet mode. And for a size comparison, there is Classics Starscream. So you can see Starscream is a deluxe, but a lot smaller. Mind you, Starscream is a big deluxe, but that's him. There we are. Okay, so there's your size comparison. And let's have a look at the details of the jet. So again, we've got a lot of carried over lines from before, again like this, but something that we can see that we didn't see before is in the engine sort of looking areas back here, and obviously the cockpit is all together now. We can see the nose. Make sure this bit's lined up or it will look really odd, but that's the details. Is you've got to make sure that when you put the transformation in, like I explained, that these leg sections are in. So this white bit shouldn't be sticking out as level as this on these sides. It actually needs to be pushed in. So it takes a bit of fiddling around with the joints, and then there's moulded in space for these to sit against the grey area, the red and the grey. So they all need to line up, and that all lines up so that the feet can peg into the back of the arms there, and then you have your jet in that mode. Now, you obviously have the guns as the extensions. If they're not on there, he looks a bit stumpy, so they need to be on there to have a fairly cohesive jet mode. And now it won't let me peg on. There we are. Now, the instructions only show to have the one fin out. If you wish, you can have the two out like that. That's just a personal preference, but you can leave those in, and underneath here you've got these little wheel sections you can fold up like that. Got your fingernail in here, just behind there. Come on, there we are. And got that wheel there, like that. So your wheel mode, so you got those wheels, and then you can just fold that out like that, and then he will sit like that in his jet mode. And then just pick him back up, fold that down, fold it back underneath, and the wheels can just tab back under there, just like so. They just sit in there flat, and there's your jet mode. Now to transform him back into robot mode, it's not too hard. Just pull the guns off, pull the guns off, fold that away, fold that away, fold that away, untab the feet from the back there, untab that feet from the back there, and just get your legs out like so, and they just go out a click like that. Come underneath, fold this section away, just like that. Then this whole nose section is going to untab, and then that whole section there is going to fold out like so. Right, now we're going to rotate that right around and forward. Then you just get your legs, tap them in, not tap them in, just click them in like that. Rotate around, extend your leg out till you hit the click. Rotate, extend your leg till you hit the click. Just get your feet. Spread your feet out. Now I've lost my train of thought. Spread your feet out. Now you've got it like that. Come up behind there. That just sits like that. Turn the nose cone. And we're just going to fold this section. It will go down like that. And that section. And that will just sit in there like that. Okay, like that there. Now up to the top here. This section here, we're going to fold, slide those pieces up like that. We're going to untab that section, and it's going to fold down like so. Down like so. Get your arms. Just get him back so you can see him. Get your arms. Rotate them around. Just unpeg your hand. And that's your arm sitting like that. This one down. Make sure that's tabbed in all the way. Get your hand, unpeg that. There we are. There we are. And there you have Assaulter back in his robot mode. Alrighty guys, that was a video review of FansProject's WB003 Warbot Assaulter, or G1 Broadside in all his glory. Fantastic figure. Quite expensive, it's around $100. If you got him when he was on order. Now the prices probably spiked up a bit, which is unfortunate, but that's just the way the aftermarket tends to go with third-party figures. Now, if you can afford him, you want to pick him up, and you collect the FansProject lines, definitely grab him. If you've got the other Warbots, he does look great with them. For example, we'll get old Steel Core here. And he can go with Assaulter there, and and there's a Defender. Defender can go there as well. So we've got the Charlie's Angels going there. So definitely a good figure. It is a bit fiddly to get between some modes, especially trying to get parts in the jet mode to sort of click in together. But definitely a great figure. He's very heavy, a lot of die cast down here. A concern I do have is with the ball joints lasting, but they should be fine. Be aware that tolerances on this guy, especially trying to tab these little arm panels into the legs here in the Space Cruiser mode, is very tight initially, and mine are starting to wear in. I've probably transformed 5 or 6 times between each mode, but they are taking time to soften up and get into the right sort of clearance just to pop in and not pop out with any little movement, which they are doing a little bit still. So just be aware, you don't need to get a file out, you don't need to cut anything, just be patient, things will wear in. The tabs up here that join these two sections together for the jet mode are the same. After a while, you should be able to just squeeze it with your fingers and click it in. Don't cut anything, don't wreck anything. Just a warning. Very cool figure, looks great displaying, very poseable because it's got the die cast in the legs, very easy to move around, which is great. I, again, like mixing the modes up, and I like these legs with this head and all that sort of stuff. But that's an individual thing. Guns are cool. He can use other accessories too with that standard sort of peg size. Looks great together with the other Warbots. I can't wait to see what they bring out next. So again, that was FansProject's WB003 Warbot Defender, not Defender, Warbot Assaulter. That's Defender and that's Steel Core. So that's the line so far, 1, 2 and 3. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Please subscribe, share, like, all of that stuff. And as always, make sure you follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook. That's Assaulter. You're a viewer. I'm Chris. Bye.